Hey there guys, my name's Emerald and today I wanted to do a speed build video using as much of the new Book Nook kit as possible. I decided to build a tiny home for a sim or a couple who loves books, and I wanted it to be super cozy. Sorry if you can hear the fan in the background, by the way. At the minute in the UK where I live it's about 19 degrees Celsius and it's never warm in the UK, so I am not built for the heat. The only thing I find positive about the heat currently is I've got a banana in a plastic bag on my windowsill right now, and because of the heat the plastic bag is making it hotter and it's ripe, even though it was green like 2.5 days ago. So heat equals sweaty death, but heat can also equal perfectly ripe fruit. But anyway, the kind of vibe I was going for with this house was like a renovated cottagey studio in the middle of the woods, so I chose Copperdale, which is the town that comes from the high school years pack. And I really loved this pack because I love the idea of going to school with your teen sims, but I also love to build, and I always have to play on my own builds, so I actually rebuilt the school, which I didn't do for a video, but I might rebuild the school and do it for a video at a later date. But anyway, if I build the school and I spend so much time building my own builds, I might as well use them. The high school years pack also comes with the boba tea and thrift shop lot in The Sims, which I'm feeling like building sort of a combination lot with a library using the new kit as well as boba tea and thrift store. But I'm still going to think on that because I'm not sure. But anyway, with this build I had quite a lot of trouble figuring out the roofs, so I cut out quite a lot of it, but I eventually got there in the end, and I used quite a combination of different roofs. And I know this store is kind of big for a small cozy little cottage in the middle of the woods, but I've barely used it and I thought it kind of went quite well with the build. And I really wanted a sliding door in the back here, but I didn't really know which one to go for. And I think I finally settled on the one from, it's the winter pack. It's on the tip of my tongue. Snowy Escape. I went for the sliding door from Snowy Escape with the glass windows because I thought it looked really pretty. And then I go in here with, I'm just messing about with the roofs again. It took me ages to figure out, but I go in here and I'm just choosing the windows now, but I think I stick to those base game windows. Oh, I changed them out for those ones, the 4 sort of square windows that has white and brown in them, because I think they tie in with the door from Get Together, or Growing Together, very well. So here I am. I just kind of wanted to do some half walls to split off the bed/living area from the kitchen area. So I decided to go with the half walls because it could be more open plan, and I thought cutting it off in a small house like this would be a bit much. Oh, and I really wanted to add that little fox window at the top because I thought it was very pretty and the wood tones match really well. So spent a little bit of time figuring out the windows on the back here because I think I actually swapped them out for the slightly smaller ones with the little shutters that are also base game. Yeah, these ones here. I really love them. Then I'm just going in with the stairs. I couldn't really figure out where to put the stairs here at the back, but I think I eventually go back and line them up with the door. And I really wanted like a little sheltered part out here because I imagine whenever the weather's good, or whenever maybe if you have 2 sims living here, one of them wants a bit of their own space, they can go out the back and they can read and be around nature, and I thought that was really nice. So I rarely use this roof tile from the Snowy Escape pack, but I thought it matched the brown tones of the door and the insides of the windows really well, so I went ahead with it. And I'm going in here, trying to figure out what I want to do on the patio in terms of flooring, but I think I go back and I eventually go for like a stone tile, because I never really do tile patios. I always go for wood, and I wanted something different since I knew I wanted to do wood on the inside. But yes, figuring out the stone here, I think I go for a sort of red brick eventually. I can't remember what pack it's from, but I think I go out and change that eventually at the end. Or in 5 minutes, sorry, not the end. Unfortunately for you, you're going to have to sit through another 20 minutes of this. But yes, I go in, there we go, there's that red tone brick that I really like. More of a browny red tone, but it's quite pretty. And I knew I wanted sort of like green highlights, sticking with that stained glass window that we have with the little fox. There's green and blues and browns in it. So I wanted to go in with this brown sort of, or green sort of paneling from the Growing Together pack. Said it right this time, didn't say get together, go me. And just adding a little bit of white in here to tie it all in together with the columns. And here I'm just figuring out, I wanted to put like a little window almost on this like wall bump out I've done, and I eventually go for the stained glass window from the Realm of Magic pack. I actually love those windows, but I never find an excuse to use them in normal sort of regular non-wizardy builds. So I took my chance and I ran with it. And I actually decided to use the stone sort of tile from the patio in the front door sort of entryway space because I thought it looked really cute and it kind of separated the two rooms a little bit. And I think these counters I used here were base game. I thought that the people living here would have slightly more modern counters, but still with that sort of cottagey look, and the wood swatch matched really, really well with the floor. And I just had to use that little cottage living dining table because it is adorable and it is perfect for this build. But I actually went in with a Murphy bed here, and I decided to use a Murphy bed because I thought I could use more of the Book Nook kit items that I'm actually building with for the first time here. And I thought that a normal size double bed would probably take up too much room, and using the Murphy bed from the Tiny Living pack actually allowed me to make more of a larger, more open living space. And I was really impressed with these Book Nook items. I love that sort of two-seater love seat. I thought it was gorgeous, especially with the little pillows on it. I feel like we don't have enough of those sort of sofas with the little pillows on it. And the nightstand was so cute with the little books in it, and this lamp. I think this lamp is my new favourite lamp in the entire game, and I'm going to be putting it everywhere, in every build. And here we go with the little modular bookshelves. Now, I was really impressed with these because we have one that's sort of filled to the brim with books, we have one that has a few books, and we have some sort of smaller pieces like this that have no books or filled with books or a couple. And we also have sort of two height modular shelves of those as well. And these pictures were absolutely adorable. I think they're supposed to be like framed book covers or framed promotional posters for books. So I added a couple in there above the love seat. And what I actually discovered with this little, using the desk here, I wanted to put a little typewriter there, so they had, you know, maybe if the sim has a love of writing, if they have a love of reading. So I thought I would put that there with the typewriter from the Cottage Living pack. But using this desk, I discovered that a lot of the base game wood swatches match so well with this kit, which really impressed me because a lot of the previous packs and kits, not so much the kits, but more the packs, would have these wood tones that were slightly off or didn't really match with other packs, whereas this wood tone matches so well with the base game. And I didn't want to put a fancy TV in here, or a fancy sort of radio, so I used this little TV from the basement kit because I imagined they would spend most of their time reading books anyway. And the little radio with the books and the pens, that matched really well. I can't remember what pack that's from, but I want to say High School Years. And I imagined that the Sims living here would possibly have a cat, so I went in and I added some of the items for a cat, like the little scratching post and the little bed behind the chair, and these little food bowls here, which I think I eventually swap around to the other side. yeah, which I think, oh, I'm swapping the bin round to outside the bathroom. And I'm putting a little unit here. I think this unit is from Growing Together. Said it right this time. Again, didn't say get together. But I used this one here and I scooted it into the half wall a little bit just to give you your Sims more space to get around the table, but also add more surface area for clutter, because I absolutely love clutter. And I'm added a little shelf with the coat and hat here at the entryway. And oh, I discovered that this stack of books is stackable. You can literally stack them all the way up to the ceiling if you want to. So I had to add in more. And I actually go in and add a couple of swatches, or change a couple of swatches here so it doesn't look like the same book piled up again and again and again. So I went in here, changed the swatches, and I put another little stack of books behind the chair here, because at this point I'm in love with this item and I have to use it as much as possible. And I decided that the litter tray didn't really fit inside, like there was room for it, but it didn't really fit in properly, so I put it out on the patio to return to it later. But here we are going into the bathroom, and I eventually delete this toilet and replace it with another one. Not that I have anything against this toilet, I just felt like it personally didn't fit. So I also realized that I didn't have a dresser in the living area, so I went in with this dresser from Tiny Living in the bathroom, because I thought it looked like it could pass off as a bathroom unit really well, but then you still have the functionality of the dresser if you want it. And I added the matching Tiny Living sink because I thought it went very well, and I tried to use this towel so badly I move it around several times and then I eventually delete it and do not use it, because that is the process. So I'm just adding more on the walls here in the bathroom, and I decided to use these Dream Home Decorator shelves just to add more spaces for clutter in the living area. And oh, here we go with that towel again. Yep, and it's deleted. And I replace it with a smaller one that I feel like looks better. It matches the swatch on the mirror and the unit in the bathroom. So I discovered I didn't use these little bookshelves made from books, Bookception. So I wanted to use them in the living area, and I did. So we're going in here thinking about how to wallpaper the walls, and I wanted to use the bricks from the outside in a couple of like highlighted walls on the inside, just because I feel like that would be more realistic of what they do in real life. Oh, save the game, don't want to lose progress. But then I couldn't really find a tile I wanted to go with it in the bathroom, so I think I eventually go to the stone. Yep, and I used the high school years stone in grey, and I feel like that worked really well. I also used the same stone that I used on the patio but in blue in the bathroom, because I feel like it ties it all in together. And going in here with some kitchen tile, and I knew I wanted sort of wooden walls as well, and I didn't realise, but this new kit actually comes with a new wallpaper, which I had to use, so I used it in a few of the walls on the inside and the half walls. And then I wanted to add like a little pop of colour, and I knew I was going for more blues and greens, so I went in and I added a very pale blue colour, and I was surprised by how well the little toppers for the half walls fit colour wise, so I used them. I thought that was really cute, and I added lots of cabinets and shelves in the kitchen because I just feel like a small, cozy, cluttered up kitchen would be perfect for the Sims who would live here. So I added that, and I decided to put a little white mirror by the door here because I felt like that was fairly realistic. And a nice sort of little tapestry. And then I'm going in here looking for more pictures to clutter up the walls, because I just imagine that these Sims would have a lot of artwork, would have a lot of appreciation for literature. And I added this little picture above the desk, like it was sort of leaning on the wall. And I just went in with some basic blinds because I love these blinds. I think they're actually from the My First Pet Stuff pack, which I know is controversial, but it probably has the best blinds in the game. But I went out here to the patio now, and I thought I could maybe use that three-seater sofa from the Book Nook kit, but it didn't quite fit. I thought it was too big. And I go in here, and I know I'm looking for sort of like a wooden outdoor sofa vibes, but I didn't know which sofa to go for. But I absolutely love this little chair here that has the sunflower patterns on it. It is so beautiful and bright. But I'm going in here with a few sofas here. I'm not sure what I eventually settle on. I actually can't remember. Oh, yep, there we go. I went for this outdoor bench because I felt like the wood tones matched the wood tones of the chair and the table very well. And I knew I wanted to put like a little outdoor cat sort of corner over here, so I was just messing about with the placement of the litter box. And talking about pets, the fact that it is 19 degrees right now is severely bothering me. I am very uncomfortable and sweaty, but with it being so hot recently, my little dog has been loving life. She's like a cross between like 6 different breeds, but the main ones are Westie, Shih Tzu and Yorkie, and she just loves sitting out in the sun and cooking. She loves sunning her belly, and it is adorable. But anyway, back to the build, and I'm looking for some outdoor lighting here. And I've been using this fence a lot from the werewolf pack. I just think it's a really cute stereotypical picket fence, and it comes in so many good swatches. It comes in some coloured swatches as well, or some swatches it looks like you've painted it yourself, which I think is adorable. And I'm just going in here, and I think I just used the standard mailbox. I was going to use the werewolf one, but I just preferred the wood swatch and the standard one a little bit more. And I'm adding some bins beside the back door here, and some planter boxes, because I imagine these Sims living in the middle of the woods, they would probably grow some vegetables themselves, maybe be a little bit self-sufficient, although I couldn't really decide on where to put the planter boxes, so I messed about with them for a long time. And I add some smaller ones in here, just to add some variation, because I seem to go for that brown and white sort of vibe. And here I'm adding a little picnic table, because indoors I've only got like a 2-seater dining table, so I thought in case they have guests over and it's nice weather, they could maybe grill and sit outside, because there's room for 4 Sims, if that's what they wanted to do. And since I added an outdoor fireplace, I thought I'd add a little chimney into this build, which I thought was really cute, because you can just see it peeking out from the front of the cottage. And now we're going in here to clutter it up, and ever since they added this basket item in the base game update, I have been obsessed and using it everywhere. You can use it in the kitchen, or the living room, or the study, or the bedroom. It just fits everywhere so well. Oh, and also these little like the little skyscrapers in the taxi, I thought that was cute. I've been using those in a lot of builds as well, and I thought they fit perfectly on those bookshelves. I added in the little glasses item from the clutter kit, as well as the phone and maybe another pair of glasses, which I thought was cute. And I added the fireplace items outside. I usually put them in all of my builds with fireplaces, so I had to add them here. And I had to add a little clock in, because I also put clocks in all of my builds for some reason, sometimes 2 in the same room, because I cannot be stopped. I love the clocks. And I'm just going back and forward here and cluttering up the spaces as much as possible. I also use this tiny plant from the greenhouse kit everywhere, because it is such a good size. And I also went in with the little incense stick, and I think I eventually, I put it on top of the bookshelf behind the desk. And I'm going in here. I wanted sort of like a light on the bedside table, if you will. So I put these 3 candles, which the wood tones match so well. And I think I'm just going in more with oak plants, the hanging plant. I thought that fit the space really well. And a couple of little clutter items for the kitchen, as well as a coffee machine, because the majority of literature and book lovers I know are addicted to coffee. So, and they also have a wide collection of mugs. So that's why there is a wide collection of mugs. I went in and I put the little pot of tea and the little pot of coffee, so I felt like there was more of a variation there. And then I went in, I completely forgot about this little letter shelf item, and I thought it was perfect for the build. And I put a little towel over in the corner here, and then I'm just cluttering up this little console table that's part of the kitchen, with some kitchen sort of items, or items that can be passed as kitchen items, and little packets of herbal tea, which is very cute. And I think I'm just looking around here to see if there's anything else I can clutter up. Oh, fire detector. Yep, we need that. And I put the thermostat in the bathroom, mainly because I had no idea where else to put it. So it went into in the bathroom. But yes, just cluttering up the bathroom now. I wanted to add a little picture on the wall, and I thought this one was very fitting for the build. I'm just going out the back now, and I thought since these Sims loved books, that I would add some a little outdoor bookshelf item as well, so they don't have to go inside to get a book to read. And I just went in with the landscaping here, and it really just came together with the landscaping. I didn't feel like I had to spend too much time on it, but it is also quite a small lot, and I didn't want it to be too covered in trees and bushes and all that, so I added some nice trees in the back here, one of which I sized down, and a couple of these little pine trees in the front, one of which I sized down also. I actually remember in The Sims 3, if you would place a bush and then place it a second time, it would be a different size, which I absolutely loved. But at least in The Sims 4, you can actually manually size them down yourself. So I'm going in here, I'm adding some bushes, and I am adding a little path with the terrain paint. I kind of wanted to add a path from the side, and then a path going into the garden, and a path into the little sort of gardening area here. And I'm just tidying it up, and then I like to go over it with the mud sort of swatch of the terrain paint, just to make it look like it's a little worn, or it's a little more like lived in, if a garden can be lived in. And I'm going in here with this grass. I used to use this grass in like all of my builds, but not so much recently, although I felt like this build, it suited really well. So I'm just sizing down extra bits to make it look like it's growing off in other directions, and it's a little bit more textured. I added some circle bushes in the back here just to fill that sort of empty space, and it came together really quickly. I was surprised. And then I wanted to add in a little bit of colour, so I added in some of these blue bushes and some of these white daisy bushes, some of them sized down throughout the place. And I added quite a few around the front and a couple in the back here. And then I added a couple in the garden as well. And I felt like that just really brought everything together. So I think that we are going to go into the tour and the screenshots soon. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you made it this far, leave a like and subscribe, because I would love to have you. Bye!